Hi, I'm Kathy Goodwin, and today we're going to answer a question I get frequently on this call, which is one of a series of question and answer videos that I'm making based on your questions. The question begins, I'm starting a new venture. Now, it might mean that you're starting a new program or even a whole new line of business, or it might mean that you're just starting on the internet or starting your business, period. But I get this question almost every week from newbies and from veterans. The question begins, I'm overwhelmed. I'm not sure what I need. I feel that a great giveaway will attract more clients. I'd like to have a product to sell and maybe a sales letter for my consulting page. Help. So, what are your first priorities? Well, here is your very first priority, regardless of anything else you do. I recommend that you start with what I call an opt-in system. This is not just a giveaway, but it's a whole system. First, you have your giveaway title, you have your giveaway content, which might be an ebook, it might be a video these days, it might be a combination, it might be an audio product. You have forms. There should be a sign up form on every page of your website in almost all cases. You need a landing page because you really have to sell your giveaway these days. It's like a sales page but much smaller, and you need a set of autoresponders. Now, I have a product that you can get. You can do this yourself for just $97 if you'll click on the link below. What that is an e-coaching product. So you do it yourself and you get feedback from me at every stage. And I can write it for you. If you're not a newbie, if you're a veteran and you've been around a while and you need a new opt-in system, then yes, I'd be happy to do this for you. But if it's the first time you're doing it, or even if you're working with a new program, I recommend you get your hands in there so you'll understand the nuances of what you're offering. And if you're going to have someone do something for you, it's really important to know what you're asking them to do so you can be in charge and take full power over what you're using, what you're giving away. Now, the most important part of your opt-in system is the title of your giveaway, because that's what people are going to see on every page of your website. It's what you're going to use to promote yourself and to promote your giveaway. You might even put it on the back of your business card. This has to be very tuned in to your target market. It has to really depend on what they need the most. What makes them say, oh my God, I must have that. It also depends on what you offer, because you have to present something that they really want and need and feel almost desperate about, but it has to tie into what you offer and your strategy overall. That's why when someone says, well, can you help me with my giveaway? Can you help me write on my landing page for my opt-in system? We have to begin with some sense of the context that you're working in. You can't just start writing. You have to think about these things. Now, it doesn't have to be a long process. We usually get this out of the way really quickly, and the course goes through it so you can get something up and out there. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can make changes as your business grows, as you evolve, as you think of more things. So the next step before you do anything else is to decide what is your business model. I think almost everyone should have or could benefit from an opt-in system, although some people are very successful without one. That's a whole nother story. But generally, we see people with two kinds of business models: coaching, consulting, where you deal with clients, live clients in real time, and product sales or some kind of e-commerce, where you primarily sell products that have already been created. You may have some interaction by email or in person, but the idea is you have a fixed product that you're selling. Obviously, you can have both, but you'll generally have a business that is primarily one or the other. So let's say your primary model is the coaching consulting model. And it doesn't have to be coaching or consulting. You could be a lawyer, you could be an accountant, you could be a designer, a dog trainer. The idea is that you're seeing clients. So what are the pros of this model? Well, you generally get larger revenue on each sale because you can sell a coaching product for thousands of dollars depending on how experienced you are, how good your marketing is. It's stimulating and challenging. In fact, just dealing with all those people all the time really is fun, and it's inspiring. It gives you ideas. It's really, really fun. from if you're that kind of person, if you like doing it. Some people hate this stuff. It's often mission driven. This is where we get into the conscious entrepreneur, the soul marketer, things like that. The idea is that a lot of people start these kinds of businesses because they say, you know, I really could help people. I've been through something and I can help other people who are experiencing what I did. I can help other people avoid the problems I had. Or they might say, well, I see people making a mistake and I know how to fix that. I want to do something about that. So those are some of the pros, that you have larger revenue, that it's stimulating, and a lot of times you're fulfilling your own mission or purpose. The cons are that this model, if that's all you have, is work, pay, work, pay. Because so you work, you get paid, you work, you get paid. If you don't work, you don't get paid. If you're on vacation, you have to set things up or you don't get paid. You have to keep the pipeline filled. That means you need to have long-term clients, which can be a challenge, but it can be done. And you have to have a system for getting prospects on a regular basis. That's where your website can be extremely beneficial, and your mailing system, your opt-in system, followed by emails. It can be freelance. That's one of the biggest dangers. There's a difference between being a freelancer and a business. With a freelance business, which freelance operating system or model, you really don't have regular clients. You just put yourself out there, you have recommendations, you have referrals, but you really bounce from one client to the next. A lot of people do very, very well with that model. It can be precarious, but it can also be high reward. So let's look at the alternative, which is the product selling e-commerce model. The pros are, of course, that you work once, you create a product, and then you get paid over and over again. Obviously, the scheduling is flexible. It works while you sleep, while you're on vacation, money keeps coming in. The cons, that you have to identify topics and targets. You have to really be in tune with what people buy, because all you're selling is copy. That's really what you have. You hang your hat on your copy, which could be written, it could be words, and nowadays we're seeing more and more with video. You have to be in touch with technology, because delivering a product varies. I mean, the way we deal with things now, the way we deliver now is different than it was even 5 years ago. Things like how you create a product as an ebook, how you protect it, where you sell it, these are all changing. And you have to write and write and write some more. My own addition to this would be that some people just don't like doing it. They just don't like working by themselves, and they want that interaction, and they just cannot survive this way. There are hybrids, and that's something most people end up with. Most people start with one or the other, and then there's a combination. But I want to clarify what that means. I recommend that you start by choosing your model, especially if you're new. And I was not advised to do this. Most people are not. We get advice from one consultant saying, get clients, go to networking events. Another one says, oh, you must get an ebook out there. So I would say pick a model, and your model will encourage, I started to say dictate, but that's a little strong. Your model really will help you decide what you need to do. If you want the coaching model, then here's what you do. You get a few clients to start. And there are ways, when I work with my own clients, I customize strategies. So for some people, it's networking. For other people, there are other strategies they can use. There are several ways to get clients. You don't even need a website to get your first clients, but it doesn't hurt to have your opt-in system set up and ready to go. Secondly, you create your elevator speech and your flyers, and that's part of content. That's one of the things that you can work on with me or with another marketing consultant. You begin your social media campaign. You might want to write a book to showcase your own expertise, and that's really critical. You're not writing a book to make money. At this stage, you're writing a book to showcase your expertise. And then you create your signature system. Now, this is optional. Some people have one, some people never bothered, but a lot of coaches recommend that you have a signature system, which is your product. It's beyond a book. It's a whole system that people can buy and really coach themselves in the same way that you would coach if you were working with them one-to-one. That's why you need to start with clients, because if you don't have experience with clients, you won't know what to put in your signature system, you won't know how to write a book, you won't have these other things. And then, of course, you create continuity programs. Most people don't do that till they're a little further along in the process. And yes, there are other things you can do. You can write articles, you can do things, but I put that in with social media because I have the content multiplier system where you do a lot of these things in a consolidated way, not just piecemeal, because you just don't have time to do an article here, a flyer there. You got to get it together. Now, the product sales model, I can recommend resources who are experts in this, but essentially, if you're going to go this way, I recommend you start with PLR products. That means private label rights, where you work with someone else's product and then sell that so you can learn how to market a product. You focus on getting traffic. Some of these PLR products even come with a sales letter, so you just modify it and you can do that. But notice they're very different focuses. With the product sales model, you would use your list to promote products and you'd focus on getting traffic because your list won't ever be big enough. With the coaching consulting model, you're really starting with clients. You're building your list. I recommend getting that out there even before you got your first client, but your first step is getting clients, working with clients, so you know what to write about. They're very different tracks. If you want to get started, I have some things to help you. The first link will take you to my opt-in course, which is a 5-day write your opt-in system and do it yourself course with my help. You get e-coaching at every step. The second one is a course that I have offered that I'm going to be offering again at a future date. Keep an eye on that space because it may change. And that's another way to get a system of content creation. If you're new to the internet and you know you're going to need to promote yourself, that's another good way to start. You can also sign up for my espresso call, which is my version of a strategy session, which is 90 minutes, 60 to 90 minutes. Some people need just less than that. You get e-coaching, I read your materials, you get feedback. What you do if you sign up for the espresso call, then you can choose one of these other courses free as part of the package. So I would encourage you to think along these lines and don't hesitate to look at my services when you're ready to get started. My goal is to help you bring your A game to the internet as efficiently and as effectively as possible. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll look forward to your future questions and meeting you around the net.